attention now returns to the cosmetic problems. The temporary facing tissue and adhesive are removed from the paint layer, and a non-yellowing stable synthetic resin varnish is applied.
We remove the facing tissue from the picture with a very light hydrocarbon solvent, which is very safe to the paint layer, but removes very effectively the tissue and the adhesive that we applied to the tissue. Then we went through a very long process of putting a beautiful varnish on the picture. And this was done to saturate the paint layers and to provide a protection to the paint layer and to prepare it for inpainting.
Losses in the paint and ground layers are filled and textured to match the surrounding original paint layers. Losses are inpainted with a stable, non-yellowing, non-discoloring synthetic medium.
Well, basically it's applying color to an area of loss to create a faux finish that fools the eye and integrates those damaged sites into the overall design. So that when you look at a painting, what you have is the aesthetic pleasure of seeing the design as a whole, and your eyes don't rest on or are not drawn to areas of loss and damage. And it requires staying within the confines of the actual loss. It is not appropriate to paint over or cover any original paint. The materials we use for inpainting, we use a synthetic resin mixed with dry pigments, and the reason we use it is so that it can be easily distinguished from the original materials that the artist used, and also is easily reversible without damage to the original paint layers.
We have completed the most difficult passages in the inpainting process on the project. Most of the damage is in the lower third of the picture, and we've spent a lot of time dealing with rather difficult and extensive areas of loss. We're very pleased with how the picture is looking. It suddenly has a sense of space and distance that the artist intended. And we're working up into areas of less damage, so we'll be seeing in the next week real progress in this phase of the project. At this point in the inpainting, we are confronted with the question of how to access the upper reaches, the middle and upper reaches of the picture. A 12-foot painting is, without very, very specialized and expensive equipment, difficult to reach.
In order to maintain the kind of control over your brush that you need to have, you really need to be close enough to the canvas to be able to support your hand slightly on the canvas itself. And the amount of inpainting we still have left to complete, in order to be efficient about it, we really do have to be comfortable enough that we can proceed very economically, efficiently.